My name is Erin Gablish, and I'm the Chief Executive Officer at ABC Head Start Society. We provide early learning and development programming for kids with complex needs. All of the kids in our programming would have some sort of speech, language, behavior, development delay. They're all aged 3 to 4 years old. So what we're doing is we're actually getting them before they head off to kindergarten. So Head Start, all of our programming is intended to offer them that Head Start so that they can go off to kindergarten. So it's all based around social, emotional development, and then of course supporting their needs, whether it's speech, language, behavior, or other sorts of development. We also provide, outside of just our classroom-based programming, we also provide family engagement programming. So lots of the families that we're supporting are also facing other vulnerabilities. And so while we've got the kids in the classroom, we're also able to support mom and dad and other family members through things that they might be facing, like poverty, food insecurity, addiction, that sort of thing. And so it's really a full approach. We are a charity around for 41 years. So last year we celebrated our 40th anniversary. It was started by a trailblazing woman by the name of Alita Patterson, who interestingly, her son is actually the chair of our board. So there's still like a long connection in history with the family, with ABC Head Start. And so it was really started by her. She saw a need in the community, kids that didn't have that social emotional development to head off to kindergarten. So it was really built around that community need. So fast forward now, we use the Head Start model, which again is still based around that social emotional development for kids. And obviously the organization has grown quite immensely over the last 41 years. We now support over 400 kids every year. So we have 408 kids in our programming this year, over 12 classrooms, and this year over 7 program sites. I actually have worked in many different industries and sectors throughout my career, but I'm actually quite new to education and specifically early learning, which is what we do here at ABC. I've only been here for 2 years, but worked in banking, economic development. I've worked in other children and family charities. What inspired me, I actually got a phone call. I had this amazing recruiter tell me about this children's charity that was looking for an interim support role and an executive director, and I was just so intrigued by what I heard. And going through the interview process, I just knew by the time that they had offered me the role, I just knew like this, my heart was here. I just couldn't believe that there was this amazing organization that did this work. I just feel very privileged to lead this team. There's so many of them. Every child I think that you meet, or every family that you meet in our program, has such a different background and they're bringing such a different experience. And so I love hearing about all of the stories. But I think the one that really summarizes maybe the impact or what we've done to support these families throughout the years, it was actually for our 40th anniversary. We sent out an email to kind of all of our past alumni, so all of the kids and families that have been in our programming. And we really wanted to do kind of a there and now, or a then and now story. We were absolutely blown away by the support. Like, people were going back 20, 30 years, going back through old photo albums, digging up pictures from when their children had been in our programming. I think there's two things. So I think one is the fact that we do offer obviously early learning, but we offer it in support of the families as well. Because I think when you look at, some of our kids are dealing with some very complex challenges. And if mom and dad are also facing vulnerabilities in their life, they're struggling to put food on the table, or they're struggling to find permanent employment, or housing is, not in a good situation. Like, it's really, really hard for them to be able to support their children. To offer that wraparound support and to support not only that child and help them with those development needs, but then be able to support that family through whatever they're facing. I think that makes us very unique. But also the other one, I would say the expertise of our team. It's been wonderful being here. And so leading into us coming to Northgate Mall, we were actually in a pretty difficult position as a charity. So we had learned about 6 months prior that we were actually losing our programming space for 8 of 12 of our classrooms. We were pretty frantic looking for space, because if we don't have space, we literally don't have programs and we'd be turning kids and families away. The relationship that we've built with First Capital and to come into Northgate Mall has been huge. It means that we are here for 10 years and that families and children know that, we're not moving anymore, that, they can come back year to the 2 years that they're in our programming, and we're going to continue to serve North Edmonton community. I'm a huge advocate of early learning now that I know, and I think when you understand the impact that you can make and what happens and how you can just support these kids at this early learning and what that translates into in future years, it's things like higher rates of employment, higher completion of high school, post-secondary, lower rates of incarceration, addiction. If anyone is at all thinking about early learning, I would say do it. If you want to support kids and see a better society down the road, I would say yes, definitely look at early learning. But in terms of just my advice overall, I would say have curiosity would be one. I've been many different places in my career. I have many different roles, and I think you just have to be curious because, there's just so many things out there. So don't kind of pigeonhole yourself in one place. Value the most is actually doing work that aligns with my personal purpose and values. If you can find work that you feel really connected to, I think that's where you should go. I mentioned that we had 8 classrooms that didn't have programming space. So we were able to put 4 classrooms here at Northgate. We actually have 4 classrooms currently operating in temporary standalone locations, and leases on those spaces expire in July. But we are thrilled because last week we actually just announced we're doing another custom early learning facility. We have another lease in West Edmonton, and so we'll be opening that new site in September, which means that we will have secured all 8 classrooms, and we will have long-term leases and beautiful custom fit learning facilities for all 12 of our classrooms. So we're really excited. Going through construction right now, and we'll be open in September, just like we did here last September. It's my team. And maybe I'll give one example. Just recently had the opportunity to sit in a large team meeting, and so it was called an IPP meeting. What these meetings are, it's an individual program plan meeting. It's our entire program team. So our teachers, our education assistants, our speech team, our behavior team, the social workers, they're getting together and they're actually talking about our kids. They're looking at the goals that we've set for those children. They're looking at what progress they've made so far in the year, and then they could be adapting, the tools and support that they're providing those kids. And when you see that team coming together and talking about the kids and just the care and attention that goes into supporting their development, it's so inspiring. And so I just so inspired by the work that we do and the amazing team that we have here.